Hello and welcome to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. This game, as always, was filmed at Entoyment in Poole. My name is Phil, and for this game I am joined by...
It's James again. That's not my full name, it's just James, but I'm back again.
Well, from now on it's James again.
Oh, so brilliant.
welcome back to the channel, James. It's always great to have you here with us, giving your insights into the games we're watching. So we have quite an interesting game today, quite an interesting list on both sides. And as the viewers are probably quite familiar with, you are a fan of the Rebels. So would you like to go through Quinn's list? I know you were quite excited by it when I showed it to you.
Yeah, you sent me this list before we started recording, and I really like that it's Cassian and K2 working together, admittedly not in the same ship, but the combo is there on the table, which is always nice. I'm a fan of thematic stuff. So we've got Cassian Andor in a U-Wing with Pivot Wing, a tactical officer for white coordinates, perceptive co-pilot, shield upgrade, and fire control system. And then K2SO in his own U-Wing with Pivot Wing, C-3PO, Kanan Jarrus, a stealth device, fire control system, and elusive. And then the third ship for the Rebels is Aaron Kraken in the Z95 with a shield upgrade and elusive.
The classic Z95 just filling in those last few points that you have left.
I mean, 45 points for an Initiative 5 ship, pretty good.
Yeah,
and potentially could work well with K2's abilities, but we'll get to that later. Yeah. On the other side, it looks like we've got some named pilots.
We do indeed. Not only do we actually have a mini TIE swarm, but we have some named pilots. So we will start at the top. We have the big bad Rampage there in the TIE RB Heavy. Such a great ship. Did the unboxing for that video a couple of weeks back. Absolutely love it. So good to see it on the board. He's running the classic synced laser cannons, target assist MGK 300. Also filling himself out with hull upgrade and shield upgrade, making himself even beefier than normal, and he's stuck expert handling on there. Now, I do really like that combination of upgrades he's got there. It means all of his actions are now white, which is fantastic. And as we said, we have a mini swarm. For those of you that are familiar with Battlefront 2, we have the Inferno Squadron, led by Iden Versio with the new Ion Limiter Override, Gideon Hask, also with Ion Limiter Override, Del Miko with Crackshot, and Sain Marana with Marksmanship. So nice list there, all I-4s, so they'll all be flying at the same time, shooting at the same time, so nice bit of control there that Conor is going to have with that list.
Yeah, having a swarm all be the same initiative helps a huge amount with manoeuvring and forcing self bumps, and the fact that you can have them all as named pilots with abilities that work together. The Inferno Squad Quadrio? What's a 4?
Inferno Quad. 4. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Quad. Yeah.
They're a good solid unit, even without any upgrades.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Their abilities work really nicely together.
Yeah, I do like that Rampage has both the hull upgrade and the shield upgrade, just to really stay in the fight for as long as possible.
I mean, I asked Conor about that because this is the last lot of games we were able to play before the lockdown 2.0 came into effect. The TIE Heavy had only just come out the week before, so there were actually 4 people flying TIE RBs that night. All of us flying very similar builds to them. Conor was one of the few that had something slightly different, which was the hull upgrade and shield upgrade on there. And I asked him about that, and he basically turned around to me and said, well, I had some points spare, so I thought I'd just throw those on anyway.
Fair enough. I mean, sometimes you get those spare points, you experiment a little bit.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's a cool list, and I do like the Thai rampage, the Thai RB rampage with those Thai swarms there.
Yeah. So interestingly, everyone's brought the clouds for this.
Yeah. I mean, you don't tend to see all clouds very often. I mean, I'm a big fan of using one or two generally, as I find that they're quite a forgiving obstacle to go over.
I can see the appeal for Conor having the mini swarm and wanting to keep them in formation. That's a bit easier. But I'm surprised that Quinn hasn't got maybe some debris in there to trigger K2's ability through that, maybe? I mean, there's a lot of ways that he can trigger it in his setup anyway, but...
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Obviously, triggering that stress to give himself the calculate is quite a nice little mechanic there. And with the debris fields, it could have been a way to trigger that. However, though, there is also that added risk of if you do get the crit, then that's a damage that's going through. So
true, the clouds are safer.
Yeah. And also they do give them the advantage as well of being able to change a blank result to an evade. Yes, it works both ways, but with the U-Wings, I mean, they haven't got a terrible evade roll, but it does sometimes help, especially if you're going to have a serious weight of fire at you.
True. So there's a couple of ways that K2 can stress himself. K2's ability reads, after you gain a stress token, gain one calculate token. So gain a stress, gain a calculate. We've already seen him do a stop on the first turn and get one. But then looking at his upgrades, he's also got elusive. So if he's defending, he can... let me get the exact wording on this. While you defend, you may spend a charge to reroll one defense die. After you fully execute a red maneuver, recover one charge. So you do that red maneuver, you get your calculate, and you get your elusive charge back. That's great. But I think
he's got C3PO there, which does that not allow him to get double calculate?
No, that's only after you perform the calculate action. You gain an additional calculate, which is why he only put down one at the start with the ability. But double calculate, if you're not having to stress for the ability, that's amazing.
And we see a double calculate right there.
Yep.
Perfect timing. Thank you very much, Quinn, for that.
He's also got Kanan on board to help clear the stress if needed. And also having a force point can always help out. But I think the interesting thing in the list is Aaron Kraken in the Z95, because his ability reads, after you perform an attack, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1. That ship may perform an action, treating it as red. So if K2 gets this ability, gets this action, and treats the the calculate action as red, he will gain one calculate token from free action, gain an additional one through 3PO. He will then get stressed and then be able to assign himself another calculate token, gaining 3 just from his friend shooting.
That's crazy.
So if you can pull that off, I'd just give him the win, because that's impressive to get all of those things to trigger.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of want to hope that he's not reliant on it triggering, because if you become reliant on something like that triggering, but I mean, it's one of those ones that if it does trigger, happy days, like round of applause, definite, you get the moral victory. And if it doesn't, well, hopefully you've still got a good set of flying and a good set of results.
Yes. And also he's got Cassian flying alongside as well to really help clear the stress. So as much stress as K2 is going to be taking, I think he's going to be fine for his maneuvers.
Absolutely. And obviously if we look over the other side now, we've got the Imperial side set up in two... Well, I hesitate to use the word two formations. It's one formation of Rampage.
Rampage is his own formation.
True. I mean, it's looking like we've got the Inferno Squadron coming in for a big sweep around the side, and Rampage very much being there to be like, okay, I'm big, come at me, see what you can do.
Yeah, he's really giving Quinn the choice of, look, you can focus fire on one of these groups which one do you want to go for?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one is scarier, because Rampage has enough health that you're not really going to be taking him out in one round.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 10 health. I mean,
but he's only one shot coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have the hull upgrade and shield upgrade, possibly one round of good shooting, but adding those 2 extra bits of health, yes, it's only one shot at you, but it's one of those things of you point everything at that one, then the other ships just come around the back.
Yeah, and you're spending time trying to turn around. I mean, the U-wings are good at that.
Yeah.
Phil, what's going on here?
Oh, so we actually have a dice cam. New thing that I'm trying out, just seeing how it works, making it a bit clearer for everyone to see the dice, especially us. And in fact, there we could see that we had 1 hit on Rampage, so there's that shield upgrade gone. But just trying out a dice cam hopefully gives you guys a better feel for what's actually happening, and also means that when we're trying to do the commentary, we don't have to squint at our screens to really see what's going on there. But another thing that's happening is that Rampage's ability with the targeting assist is actually triggering. So he is now checking to see how many ships he actually has in his arc at range 2 to 3.
He may have all 3.
It's at range 2 to 3 though for target assist.
Oh, okay, so you can't use it on Aaron Kraken, but he gets the other 2.
Yeah. So before you engage, if you have no green tokens and you are not stressed, gain 1 calculate token for each enemy ship at range 2 to 3 in your firing arc to a maximum of 2.
I like that.
And
especially with the expert handling, because you're then able to re-maneuver or reposition and not be stressed and get that ability.
And not only that, he took the target lock anyway.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Yeah. So
he's used green dice as well.
Yeah, good green dice. So that's 1 damage on Aaron there. It's not bad exchange there.
I mean, it's the shield upgrade gone.
Yeah, it's the shield upgrade gone, but I'll take that. And now we have Inferno Squadron coming in for a few shots. So there's 1 hit to 1 evade.
Now, the Iden Versio and Gideon Hask have the Ion Limiter Override.
Yes.
Do you have that on hand for what that does?
I do indeed. So the Ion Limiter Override, which was a new card that came with the TIE RB, and I believe you're also going to get a copy in the Nimbus V-Wing. But after you fully execute a red maneuver, you may perform a barrel roll action, even while stressed. If you do, roll an attack die. On a hit result, gain 1 strain token. On a crit, gain 1 ion token. And that is a TIE-only talent. Ooh. And that...
Oh, that's 4 blanks.
That's 4 blanks
for the green
versus
dice,
a hit crit. Ouch. And I believe that's on Cassian there.
It looks like that's so he's reaching 4, yeah. I mean, at least it's only shields at this point.
So
not a great start.
Not a great start there. But yes, that's Ion Limiter Override. It's an interesting new card. Gives you a bit more flexibility with your ships and a bit more maneuverability. So be interesting to see how often that's pulled off. So we have some more shooting. This looks again more shooting at Cassian.
I'm wondering why he's opting to go for Cassian and not maybe K2.
I think it's down to range there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
With Saint Miranda,
I was thinking more that the cloud is in the way, but yeah, you're right. Range might be more of an issue.
Yeah, with Saint and Gideon, Saint especially has got, looks like it would be almost bullseye with hers, and she's actually got a very, very interesting combo there.
Oh, with marksmanship. Yes.
So that really works with her ability. So while you perform an attack, if you may spend 1 crit result. If you do, deal 1 face-down damage card to the defender, then cancel your remaining results.
Just guaranteed damage as long as you roll a crit. And with the bullseye arc
and marksmanship,
you can change one of your hits to a crit and trigger the ability.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost guaranteed to get a crit there.
I mean, against lower agility stuff like the U-Wings and the Z95 not amazing all the time, but if you can catch like an ace in that, then amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that Quinn actually came off not too badly there. He only took 2 damage on Cassian, so...
And now it looks like he's returning fire?
Yes, just trying to work... I think he's just trying to have a look. He's debating Cloud versus Focus.
Yeah, I think it's a case of whether he shoots through the Cloud at someone without tokens or if he shoots around the Cloud but someone with tokens.
Yeah. Well, we've got 2 hits and a crit there. I believe he's going into Sane there.
Okay. Sane being
so
the yellow
TIE fighter at the back. So
okay,
I can
so
see
he's opting for the long shot through the Cloud.
Yep. So that's going to be a point of damage going through.
Yes. So he can turn one...
Oh, no. Looks like he went with Iden instead.
Okay, that was Iden. Okay. So 1 crit onto Iden.
Oh, let's have a look.
Is that right?
It looks like it took the damage on Dell. Let's just have a look and see why he may have done that.
Mix up on the colours, maybe?
It could very well be just a mix up on the colours.
Oh, well, I think we've now got K2 probably also firing into the same target, unless they're out of range. Well, they're setting dials, so I think that's
so
probably out of range then.
Okay, so he took shots on Rampage earlier, it would appear, because Rampage is down to 7 hull.
Wasn't that the shot from Aaron?
No, Aaron took off the shield upgrade.
Yes. And then,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so far, that exchange, I think, you would definitely say has favoured Quinn there.
It has, but the U-Wings aren't in the best position. I mean, I feel like they made... Well, if they risk doing a stop, then they're just in the same situation next turn.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 4 TIE fighters bearing down on them. It's not good.
I'd say try and split them up maybe and have Cassian go towards the top of the screen and K2 go down, but then Aaron's in the way, and I mean, a 1 bank might not bump.
Again, it's that whole medium base judging it is so difficult.
Whereas Conor probably just goes for a bank maneuver with the ties and then maybe just ignores Aaron for now and goes for the U-Wings.
I think maybe you'll see banks from Iden and Dell, so red and blue, and maybe straights from green and yellow, unless he banks them all in. But I think definite banks in from...
I think you dial in the banks with all of them, and then if the U-Wings do stop, then maybe you barrel roll to make sure you get arc.
Yeah.
I mean, then you're facing the little cloud, but it's not the worst thing to have in front of you.
I mean, Rampage is in a bit of a tricky spot because he's probably going to bump into Aaron, but with his ability, if he's... Ooh, interesting. So there's that fast bank there from Cassian.
Okay, getting right up in their faces. Interesting.
Yeah. That's sort of very much an area
if they're
denial.
Touching you, there's less to shoot at you. Is that...
Yeah.
Oh, that's close. Doesn't look like he's hit the cloud, though.
No, he just misses the cloud. So he's definitely angling to get rid of some of those ties as quickly as possible there. Is Quinn's focus by the looks of it. And I don't blame him, to be honest. There's a lot of shots coming in there. And they've only got 3 health. 3 of 8, but only 3 health. You can...
Yeah, but as soon as you're going to destroy one, Iden's going to use her ability to keep it on the board.
Yeah, but then it takes that ability out of play
Yeah,
again.
but it's such a good ability.
It is good, and that's why Iden is the most
Even
expensive.
alongside just regular ties, that's an amazing ability because it also works on herself. I think,
I believe it does.
or is it only other ships?
It's sometimes weird because some of the wordings are very much. So before a friendly TIE LM fighter at range 0 to 1 would suffer 1 or more damage.
That sounds like it'll work on herself then.
Yeah, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, prevent that damage. So if it's that 1 damage that's going to kill you, then that's when you're going to use the charge. We do have a bump there from Rampage, and Rampage's ability is actually triggered there, which has given Aaron Kraken 2 strain tokens. Because Rampage, after you execute a speed 3 to 4 maneuver, no, it's not fully execute, it's just execute
maneuver.
You may choose a friendly ship in your firing arc at range 0 to 1. If you do, that ship gains 1 strain token, or 2 strain tokens if you are damaged.
And he has a damage card.
He has 2 damage cards, so that is 2 strain tokens on Aaron.
Ouch.
And it will take at least 2 shots or 2 blue maneuvers to clear those strain tokens.
Yeah, and now he's got Iden and Del both looking right at him.
Yeah. Oh, and we did get that straight from Yellow. Straight off the peg as well.
And it's a little frustrating when that happens.
Yeah.
Now, is that a bump? It looks like it might just have bumped.
Which is...
that is sane in the yellow one.
That's not great for Cassian. Although he's happy he's getting bumped so he's not going to get shot.
But he's also not really doing anything.
He now has no shot.
It does give him decent options for next turn to do a stop and a rotate, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he got a really good option to do. I'd say probably a 180 would be the best.
Yeah. Now, I think with K2, with his shot, I think you probably go for Gideon because he is further away. I mean, unless you reckon Sane is within range 1, outside of range 1 from Iden.
Yeah.
To get around her ability of keeping them on the board.
Yeah. And just checking range there from Aaron. So just outside of range 1 there.
So range 2 shot.
And for some reason, it doesn't appear to have picked up on the dice cam there. So we'll just have to see what damage goes through.
Okay.
So that was 2 more damage on Rampage there. Like I said,
take it.
Yeah. Like I said, with the dice cam, still a work in progress, so there are going to be a few technical issues.
We'll get the droids on it.
Yeah. And looks like we're going to have some fire back at Aaron. We have Iden and Demigo.
Tokens. I think maybe, are they discussing the
I think they're discussing whether strains stack, which they do not. So strains and deplete tokens do not stack on top of each other. You can only suffer the effect of them once. So you'll have 1 less evade dice, regardless of how many strains you have. However, it does mean that for both shots from Iden and Del, so red and blue, you will have 1 less evade.
Yep, and on a 2 agility ship, not the best. Particularly when you've got low health and you kind of rely on that agility.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things with the Z95. It's the 2s across the board, and yeah, I mean they are.
I mean they're cheap.
They're cheap, but I'll tell you what, they're still a really good ship.
I'm not a fan. They just seem like an X-wing that can't open its wings.
Or an A-wing
that bothers me enough that I don't like using it.
So we have 2 focuses there from Iden, going to spend it.
I mean, yeah, you kind of need to get anything.
Elusive, so that's both shields there.
Now,
from
can Dell finish the job? Looks like he might be in range 1. It's close. Let's see how many he rolls.
Yeah, it is very close there.
Have you got Dell's ability?
Yes. So when a friendly ship at range 022 defends against a damaged attacker, the defender may reroll 1 defense die. So it's all about the damage there. And I didn't actually see the evade result there, but that was 2 hits.
Looks like he's about to deal out some cards to Aaron. Takes 1, takes 2.
Takes 2.
There was a crit in there. Oh, he's putting more down.
It was a direct hit. Goodbye, Mr. Kraken.
Unfortunate. Especially since we didn't get to see the... Well, no, we did see almost the combination. I think he used the ability for a different action.
So, I mean, shame there. Aaron went down pretty quickly, but again, 2 strains and 2 shots coming in at him.
Yeah, but at the same time, only 45 points.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great shot. That's not a great roll, and that
is presumably...
That's on K2SO.
Yeah.
So going to spend the calculates. So that's the stealth device gone.
Has he also opted to use elusive?
He did, and it re-rolled into a focus.
Okay.
So he's using the 2 calculates.
It looks like he still has a force point active though, so that might benefit him on the return shot.
Yeah. And we're having a look there. So it's range 1 from Sane, and Mark's
yeah,
it's in bullseye. So marksmanship is on. So will he opt for the option trying damage?
What else you roll with that? I think if they have the...
He got no focus. So I mean, I'd say
in that case, yeah, do the ability.
Marksmanship and Sane's ability, so straight face down damage card, and that bypasses the shields as well.
Okay, so now we've
dealer face
got
damage.
K2 returning fire. I think no
rampage.
Oh, of course. I thought he had shot at Aaron, but of course he hadn't. He bumped.
Well, I think we might have actually got that the wrong way around. That was actually Gideon shooting there. Rampage shot earlier. So
yes, because Gideon gets extra damage, or an extra die, is it?
So Gideon, this is so crazy. We've got this many named pilots. When you perform an attack against a damaged defender, roll 1 additional attack die.
Yeah, so another benefit to having everyone at a 4 is you can guarantee he shoots after everyone else and has the best chance of getting that ability. Yeah. Which on a TIE fighter is an amazing ability.
Yeah. So that's 2 of those.
Now this is K2 shooting back at someone.
One evade, so 1 damage there. Just checking to see if we have
Aiden's
Dell's ability to re-roll.
Oh, of course, yes.
Didn't do anything, so Sane's just taken a damage. So we've got 2 damaged TIE fighters, 1 shield or 2 shields off Cassian, a shield and a damage on K2.
Yeah, it's not looking amazing for these U-Wings, I've got to say. As much as I like them, it's not looking in their favour.
I mean, having 2 U-Wings is a tough... It's tough to work. Like there is ways of working it, but I think that you need something else in there.
They're very good support ships, especially Cassian. But having 2 on the list is not a method that I tend to subscribe to.
No. And on the subject of subscribing there, being massive nerds that we are here at Out of Art Gaming,
we played with Star Wars spaceships, of course we're massive nerds.
Absolutely. We love our numbers and figures. And I was having a look the other day, and I noticed that only 58% of our viewers are actually subscribed to the channel. So if you are watching this, you like what you're seeing, and you want to see more of it, click that subscribe button. Lets us know that we're doing a good job, and we'll try and make sure, well, we're going to do it anyway, but we'll try and make sure we get even more content to you. And the more people we get subscribed to us, the more we're going to want to be able to get that content out as quickly as possible, and hopefully get you some more live people playing in real life. Because I know that at the moment, not many people are able to do it. So being able to see people do it is the next best thing, I think.
So it looks like Quinn has opted to stop and change the position of his wings on both. It doesn't look like he's repositioning at all, though. He's simply doing the stop.
I think the reposition will come in just a second. I think it was more a case of...
Oh, yeah, it's the timing for the wings, is it?
Yeah.
Pivot wings. Before you activate, you may flip this card. Okay.
So we're getting a...
Now, I reckon he does a 180.
Yeah, that would be...
Yeah.
Okay,
so for a second, try and shoot a rampage.
Yeah, for a second, did you think he was going to 90 back to his boarding?
For a moment, a little bit.
Yeah.
As for Cassian, maybe just a 90-degree turn.
No, also opting for the 180.
Around.
I think he's anticipating Sane and Gideon trying to jump over, and Del and Iden coming back.
Yeah, I think Sane is definitely in a position where she's likely to just bump again. And with the speed that ties have to go, Gideon is... He might get a shot, but it wouldn't be the best shot.
Yeah. But it's very much going, knowing that Rampage will be in front of you.
I feel like he might be trying to... Oh, interesting.
Oh, and that is actually going to get a shot into Cassian from Gideon there, because Gideon is bumping into K2.
Yeah, he's touching K2. He's on the cloud, but because he's on the cloud but no longer overlapping it, that won't be a defensive bonus.
No, but he did strain himself.
That's a very good move.
And there's that bump with Sane that we anticipated.
But again, Sane is in a position for marksmanship on K2.
Yeah.
Just slowly whittling away with those handed out cards.
Yeah, let's see. Definitely choosing violence on K2SO there. We've got Iden barrel rolling into range 1, so getting close. I mean,
it was already range 1, but he's now
Classic.
Out of arc and safe.
Yeah, I mean, he'll still more than likely get shot from Cassian, unless Cassian decides to try and take out Del, who's already got damage.
I do like the positioning here, particularly for Iden, being right in the middle of all of her teammates, making sure you'll get her ability if you need it.
Yeah, and also looking at it now, Cassian has a choice between Gideon and Iden, who are full health. Sane and Del are not going to get shot. You got Rampage right there as well, so that's not...
Rampage could go down to the U-Wings, but he's going to get a decent shot off beforehand.
Yeah, and he does have that target lock on K2SO, so I'd anticipate a range 1 there.
Oh, it must be. I mean...
Yeah, and reinforce at the front. Yeah.
Interesting. Because now he wouldn't get his target assist.
True, but he's got the target lock already on K2SO, so it's almost telegraphing exactly where he's going to shoot. I think he's got 4 ships shooting into K2SO.
True.
So
I guess trying to get the double focus might be overkill on that.
And so that's 3 focuses. And that, I think, was Iden. Now we have Sane shooting.
I think they're just double checking for the bullseye. I mean, there's a hit, so it turns to a crit. And hands out a card.
Yeah, just
put your green dice away. Just grab a card.
Yep, handing out a card straight away there on K2SO. It's a really nice combination marksmanship there with Sane.
And at 31 points is the cheapest thing on the board.
Yeah. And now we have Dell. Just the one hit.
Dell does have an unused crack shot, though.
True.
If he needs it, but... Oh, is he going to use it? He's having a look at some cards.
I think he has just spent crack shot.
Pushing through as much damage as he can.
Yep. Oh, this is very painful.
But, I mean, Conor's deserved all this damage with the positioning that he's got. I mean, if K2 survives all of this, then he's lucky that he can indeed survive in space.
Yeah, absolutely.
His U-Wing can't, but K2 can.
K2 and 3PO will be in space laughing about it. Kanan, not so much.
He won't see anything.
True. Spoilers for Rebels there if you haven't watched it.
Rebels have been out for a while now.
Yeah. Very good show. So we've got some more damage there in K2SO. So, I mean, he's surviving. This should be Gideon. Oh, no, we're done with the shooting. It's now...
Oh, this is the shot into Rampage. I think that's got to be the range one from K2. Yeah. I think that was
one
Force. One evade and the reinforce.
And the reinforce.
So, what, 2 damage?
Just the one. It was a blank at the top.
I couldn't quite tell what that top one was. And now we have Cassian presumably also trying to take a shot. Well, I don't know. Because now you can't take out Rampage in the one shot.
Yes, and he's still got that reinforce. So, going into Gideon would be the best option, I think. Range 1 into Gideon. Not like that, you're not.
Oh.
No, not like that, you're not. That was, Gideon laughed that one off, even with that strain.
Yeah, I think the U-Wings would have benefited from maybe taking some early target locks for their fire control systems, but the TIEs just came in too fast and just denied that access.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do in this situation if you're the U-Wings? They both just done a stop, so they have to move in some capacity, I think. Actually, no, because Cassian can remove K2's stress, so K2 could potentially do another stop.
Yeah, I think I would actually remove K2's stress, just do a stop.
I think I would do a stop and a 90-degree turn and try and take a shot at Del Meeko.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But is Del going to either forward and bump or do what do the TIEs have, a 5K turn? 4K turn?
4K turn.
I mean, that's enough, I think, to get on the other side.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Cassian has just done a forward maneuver deliberately bumping.
Yep. Now, I mean, I know the TIEs are going to move, but who's he actually bumped into? I want to say Iden?
He's bumped into Iden there because Gideon's a little bit further back. And so we're doing the stop, stress calculating.
Yep.
Are we going to get a rotate? I think he's trying to debate what's going to happen with Iden and Del.
Yeah. Are they... I mean, potentially you could move Del forward a little bit and bump into Iden and stay on that side and have Iden go opposite, but then Iden is further away from her friends and you don't really want that.
Okay, so
there's
go for the
90
90. Yeah. Because I think even that way, it's quite likely that if Iden and Del do hop over, Gideon will then go in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, if K2 survives long enough to get a shot, I think they might also get Sane in arc.
Yeah, I would say that Sane is in arc. Now, I think we're about to see...
Now, if that is a sloop, that's bad news.
It doesn't even matter if it's a sloop, because that's what we're going to get.
Oh, yes, the backwards turret.
We are going to get a rotate,
cannon.
The rotate to calculate, which with the target assist is white to white.
Now, the the cannon that's equipped to Rampage is the synced laser cannons. Are those specific for the brutes, or are they anyone's?
They're not specific for the brute, but they are a dual cannon slot.
Okay, so not many things can take it.
Not many things can take it. There's the brute, there's the LA-80, I believe, and possibly the HMP are the only two ships I can think of off the top of my head that can take that.
So the synced laser cannons are attack. It doesn't specify you need a specific token, but it does read, if you are calculating, the defender does not apply the range bonus.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to give the range bonus at this point anyway.
No, and it's range 2 to 3.
Oh,
so
yes.
What I really like about sync laser cannons working so well on Rampage, especially with the target assist, you've got that calculate ability there, so you can fairly often guarantee you're going to have a calculate. It gives you that 3 dice attack at range 2 to 3.
Yep.
If you are calculating, they don't get the bonus at range 3. But if you're at range 1, you get a 3 dice attack anyway, because your normal guns are a 2 dice attack. So you're basically guaranteeing a 3 dice attack at any range you're shooting at.
I see, because the brute doesn't have a regular firing arc. It's just wherever the turret is pointing.
Yeah, it's forward or back.
Yeah, because I was a bit confused there for a moment, because I was thinking that you had to use the turret if it was pointing backwards.
No. The way it works is you point your arc forward or back, and that, with the TIE Brute's ability, the baked-in ability, rotating cannons, you can rotate your indicator only to the front or back. You must treat the forward requirement of your equipped cannon upgrade as the turret.
Right, so the cannon's a freebie extra that you can opt to do instead. Right, I've got it now.
Oh, and that is hit, crit, and that'll be sane with the marksmanship. You're definitely going to let roll off that one, and that's 2 crits into
and K2.
K2
is gone.
Bye-bye, K2.
He's floating in space somewhere.
And I think there might have been a direct hit in there, actually, or a fuel leak.
Quite possibly.
Direct hit, because he just drew an extra card.
Oh, dear.
Going back to Rampage and his turret, an interesting one that doesn't work quite on that, or you could say does work, is the heavy laser cannon. Because that's a bullseye arc, it's only fireable out the front, but it does mean you could technically have a 2-way arc.
Okay,
if your arc is out the back, you can shoot out the back, and then you've got your heavy laser cannon out the front. And you can, because you've got 2 cannons, you could technically stick a second cannon on there. Yeah,
you can really load these things up with guns.
Yeah, and it's a cool looking ship. I absolutely love it. It flies really well. It doesn't have a lot of blue on its dial, but it also doesn't have a huge amount of red. And you can actually throw it around.
Yeah, abilities that will give it stress from enemy ships will be good against it, but on its own, I mean, for 58 points, this setup what did it start on? 10 health?
10 health.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So 1 damage there, 1 evade, or what? Using the evade tokens. So
was that Cassian's shot?
Cassian's shot into
and he didn't have a focus.
And Quinn has called it there.
I think that's the right call. I know you said it was a friendly game, but at the same time, it gets to a point where you know what's going to happen, and you kind of just want to go home.
Yeah. So it was only a quick game there for you guys, but again, really, really well flown there from Conor, really showing us how powerful Inferno Squadron are. So really nice to see. Some really cool options there that Quinn had that we didn't really get to see him play.
There's some cool combinations of abilities, but he just got rushed and couldn't trigger it.
Yeah. I think against any other list, it might have done better.
Yeah, I think so.
It's one of those things. But again, although it was a nice short game there for you guys, still really interesting to see what Quinn and Conor were bringing to the board. So thank you very much for those two for agreeing to be on the channel for us. James, thank you very much for coming along and watching that with us.
You're welcome.
And guys, thank you very much for watching the channel. Like I said earlier, if you like what you're seeing, please smack that like button, hit the subscribe, click the notification bell to know when the next video is coming up. And as always, we will see you again soon.